people that don't know what NanoVi is, what is it?
NanoVi is a device, and it's about the size of a small printer, and you inhale the output of the device, which is a humidity.
Can you take us to the genesis of the invention process? So what was the theory of it?
That what the body does naturally, which is it emits a specific wavelength that changes the water in the cells, that could be done artificially inside our device.
What kind of feedback did you get with when Gwyneth Paltrow used NanoVi on social?
It was really great, and she had a really positive thing. It was kind of cute. She said that she didn't know how it worked, but she loved it.
Yeah. How could it be beneficial for someone with high mold toxins?
So any detox process is...
Rowena, welcome to my land.
It's great to be here. I'm loving it out here.
Yeah. So we're filming at the telehealth center, and that's people like you said, like you're in telehealth. I didn't know you even had like an actual office, but we do. Yeah. It's where most of my lead team is at. And you mentioned back in the day, it's been a while since you've been to Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Right. I think I mentioned, or did I mention that it was before you were born?
Hey, and you mentioned the changes that you've seen in the city, right?
Yeah. It looks really dynamic now. When I was here, it was kind of, a little bit, I don't know, not thriving.
Yeah, no, it was.
Now it's like it's got a vibrance.
Yeah, because it was obviously in the Gilded Age, right? It was big. Pittsburgh was big, and then kind of as the steel mills were outsourced to other places, it really hurt the city. But it's seen its renaissance for sure.
Yeah, no, sure. It looks great.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like I should be on the board of tourism for Pennsylvania, but I'm not. But I'm always trying to get people to come and visit Pennsylvania as a whole.
Right.
It's a great state.
It's beautiful. And just flying in, you could see, it's like, oh, wow, there's beautiful places all around here.
And you mentioned liking nature. I love nature, too. Like, I live in the middle of the woods with the deer are my neighbors. And is that how it is for you, too? Do you live?
No, I'm in the city in Seattle. We have a nice patio and yard and everything, but it's not the same. Yeah. And I really feel like more and more I'm gravitated towards what you do.
I like visiting the city. I'm thankful for it, but I need my nature medicine. Yeah, for sure.
We all do.
Yeah. So you're from the beautiful country of Canada, and I don't know. I've had many Canadians on the podcast. I know many Canadians. I'm family Canadian. Part of my family's Canadian. They are some of God's kindest people, and you are no exception to that. Like, why is it? I don't know what it is, but it's something that I'm sure they're mean Canadians. I haven't met them yet though.
I'm sure there are.
What do you think it is? Have you heard that? I'm sure, but there's some kindness. There's some sort of beautiful kindness to them.
I think there's a more awareness of the kind of social well-being of everyone. So there's a lot more invested in social systems that support people. Yeah. And I think that's part of it. We're sort of raised with that, and it's like, well, yeah, you have to pay your taxes, but we need to take care of these people.
Interesting, yeah. And that maybe because they always say the Scandinavian countries are kind of the happiest. I don't know how they measure that, right? But the different metrics that they do. And that's quite a socialized set of countries as well.
Yeah, they're very much that way. Maybe a lot more than Canada. And I think it's interesting because there's these social systems that are really different than just the economics. It's not socialism. It's just, sort of having a level for everybody, making sure children have health care and food and things like that.
Right. Social systems, not socialism.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. So how did you get in your space? I talking to you a little bit before we started recording. You talked about mathematics and what was your background? How did you get into
my background was regional economic development.
Wow.
And I focused on strategic alliances, which at that time, mine was the first dissertation on that topic. And then I went from there into business. I was going to be a professor, but that didn't, it wasn't the jobs were not in locations where I wanted to live. And so I switched into business, and I was a tech entrepreneur for years. I started in 95, my first e-commerce, business-to-business logistics on the internet. So it was really early. And I did that for a while, and then I met my current partner, who's German, and he is the inventor of NanoVi. And he he's German. His English wasn't that good. And I said, well, I'll help you out. And then I just kind of transitioned more and more into the company because it was beneficial to people in a way that commerce is not.
Yeah.
You know,
What part of Germany is he from?
Berlin.
Oh, okay. Do you guys go back often, or?
Yeah, fairly often. He goes more than I do.
Mm.
But yes, it's usually 1 or 2 times a year.
Got it. So he invented NanoVi. For people that don't know what NanoVi is, what is it?
NanoVi is a device, and it's about the size of a small printer, and you inhale the output of the device, which is a humidity, and it influences the water in your system in a way that helps the cells function better. Mm-hmm. And more specifically, it helps the proteins in the cells function better.
And NanoVi is massively popular in the biohacking space. Like, I've known your work for years, being a major fan of what you're doing. And you have some significant fans in the biohacking space. Me too, but people that are a lot bigger than me. I actually heard about you, I think, through Jim Quick. Is it Jim Quick?
Very likely.
Yeah. Jim Quick's a big fan.
He's had it for
And not that he's a
years.
biohacker. I wouldn't say he's a biohacker. He's not really. But there's these tangential groups, right? He's into optimal cognitive performance, Jim Quick is.
Exactly. And he's had it, I think, for about 8 years. And he's a really good one for us because there's such, you probably see this too, but such a huge shift of people concerned about their cognitive well-being and preserving it and so on. And so Jim's been a really good one in that regard.
Yeah,
because he's been paying attention for a long time.
Yeah, for brain health. Yeah, I have had Jim on the podcast. Go back and we'll put it in the show notes, but Jim's been on the podcast all about memory and optimizing memory and optimizing brain function. Okay, so can you take us to the genesis of the invention process? Like, what was the theory of it from the outset?
The theory really, and what Hans recognized, is that what the body does naturally, which is it emits a specific wavelength that it changes the water in the cells. That could be done artificially inside our device and delivered across humidity to kind of amp up the body, so give it a boost. And normally you shouldn't really need a boost, right? If everything were perfect, but it's not. You know, most of us are, have stress. We're bombarded with all of these factors. And so almost everybody notices the benefit of it and can benefit from it. Really healthy children would probably be the exception. But even in our 30s, our cell energy is declining. And so at that point, that boost is helpful.
Yeah. So we're talking about mitochondrial dysfunction, oxidative stress. Like, what are some of the things that's impacting? Yeah, what are some of the things that you're seeing as it's impacting our things like brain fog and fatigue that so many people settle for, right? They just settle for it. But yeah, kind of explain what's happening, why people feel this cognitive decline in their life to some degree.
Well, it's in a way it's related to the mitochondrial function that you just mentioned, because the device improves oxygen utilization by the cells, which is an indicator of mitochondrial function. But it's also your brain that's a huge user of oxygen in the system. And so if you can utilize it better, then you can get a higher performance. But related to that is oxidative stress, which you also mentioned, which is ongoing. You can't avoid it. And that has to be repaired, ideally on the fly as fast as possible, especially when we're concentrating. We don't want oxidative damage to our brains.
Yeah.
And that's another issue for us, is that we influence the protein functions, and it's proteins that fix all the oxidative damage everywhere in the body, but it's kind of noticeable in the brain because it'll clear up that brain fog or that haziness or fatigue, and you get this kind of boost.
Yeah. Okay, so you described what the machine looks like for people like, okay, the listeners of the podcast really love biohacks and tech and wellness, so they're going to be so excited about this. But for people that we don't have the machine here, you mentioned it being the kind of the size of a printer is an analogy that you used. And then I have one at my house. NanoVi is the Cole family loves it. We have NanoVi parties at our house. People come over and take turns. But like, take us through like the protocol and what we're doing there. And then when I put the water in the NanoVi machine, what's happening to the water?
Okay, so the standard protocol depends on your condition. Yours is very good, and your performance, like how much you're exerting. And so you'll vary in the amount of use of the device, anything from maybe 20 minutes a day on up, especially for high performance athletes and people that are really focused. They'll just leave it on while they're working. And that's another part of the function, is that you just breathe it either from a tube or from a nasal cannula, which is those things they use for oxygen. This isn't oxygen, but it helps that utilization, as I mentioned. So what's happening is you put the water into the container on top of the device. It's bubbling to create the humidity, and the humidity is running through excitation units in the device, and then you inhale it. And those excitation units are bombarding the droplets with, first of all, the wavelength that mimics what the body does. And for the biohackers out there, that's in the range of 1,300 nanometers. So you think about your red light is 640 to 7, 8 in there. Then there's lasers that are 8 to maybe 1,000 nanometers. Those wavelengths go through the water and they hit the biomolecules in the cell. The NanoVi is different. We're hitting wavelengths that can be absorbed by water. We don't want to go through it. We want it to be absorbed so it changes the energy of the water, the energy state. And so the first wavelength is the same as the body emits. It's in the range of 1,300 nanometers. But then with more research, we discovered that we could get an even higher benefit from wavelengths that were more readily absorbed by water. So those are up higher in the spectrum still. And so where NanoVi functions all the way up to above 3,000 nanometers, because those are absorbed by water. So it's completely different range than any other device out there. And it has a completely different purpose. It's the only one that's designed to influence the environment, the water, instead of hitting the mitochondria, say, with red light, which has a definite advantage, and so on.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about proteins, and I'd love to talk about protein folding, specifically what that means, because it's not something that I've talked about on the podcast so much. Maybe what that means for people.
Oh yeah, I'd love to, because it's so consistent with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when you pay attention to your diet and your intake of supplements, often included in there are proteins, amino acids, maybe some peptides, and those are all by the body broken down into the amino acids that have to get rebuilt into proteins. So half those amino acids are built by the body itself, and then half have to be eaten about that. And so it's really important that you eat correctly to get it in there, so you have the building blocks.
Yeah.
And but it's the proteins, when they're strung together, that do the work in the cell. And then if we back up a little bit, the only reason you have DNA is to be the blueprint for a protein. And so with the DNA blueprint, the protein gets strung together, the amino acids, and it can be anything from 50 to 30,000 for the protein titan. And then the ones that are smaller than 50, say 2 to 50, are just called peptides. So they're also the same thing.
Yeah, right.
And so once that string is made, the DNA codes for that. It has to then fold into a precise shape or it can't work. And the instruction for that folding shape, because one string of amino acids can be tweaked in different ways, depending. That's your body's, biochemistry saying, oh my gosh, we've got oxidative stress over here, we need this, and it knows what to do, which is a brilliant wisdom of the body. And so in order to fold, it has to rely on the cellular water to get the energy to fold. And so basically we're augmenting that. And then I think what's really important about our approach is the body's wisdom runs the show. We're just giving it a little bit better environment, which is helpful because we also have more stress on the system than we should. And so that's our approach, is just to support the whole thing and let the body do what it needs to do.
Got it. And we're doing a NanoVi session. I'm thinking of my NanoVi parties at my house, and we recommend it to telehealth patients too. We can talk about that later. And so it's enhancing protein folding, and can you talk about the mitochondrial ATP production piece here and the connection between the two?
Yes. There's a few different aspects of that. One is there's mitochondrial proteins, especially in the inner membrane. And so those proteins would be assisted by the NanoVi the way any other protein would. And then they also are susceptible to oxidative damage because they create it.
You're right.
And so the damage is right there, and the mitochondria is available to be damaged. Ideally, it gets fixed right away, which is the protein function. So those are the biggest attributes of it. We can see the improvement in mitochondrial function, but there are aspects of the mitochondria that are not well understood in general. But that's our understanding of how the NanoVi influences those two key aspects of it.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, you mentioned measuring. What data has been looked at? What research has been done on this fluctuations in improving of mitochondrial function, lowered oxidative stress, etc.?
Yeah, the mitochondrial function is there's a few data points that suggest the mitochondrial function. One is oxygen utilization, and in one session, the respiratory exchange ratio improved by 11%. And so that's just one 20-minute session. So it's very impactful. And the metabolic testing company also measured VO2 max with an improvement of 7.8% in one session.
Amazing.
And you can say what VO2 max is about, but we care about it.
Yeah, well, it's a great biomarker metric for metabolic health, cardiometabolic health, longevity as well.
Biological age.
Yeah, biological age, health span. So is there any data, like what research has been done over time? Like you mentioned, one session, is it cumulative? Is it something that if someone's consistent with, you can even see, bigger changes?
We're doing longer term studies now. However, the ones we've got are a week long with endurance athletes, and they showed a significant improvement, and it was a small study ranging from 16 to 35% improvement in double-strand DNA damage. And double-strand's the kind you don't want because it's hard to repair. And so it showed that it helped with the DNA. We used endurance athletes at an Olympic training center because they're doing damage. So they're good ones to measure.
Yeah.
And then the other one that was done over a week is also right up in your bailiwick is total antioxidant activity. And that was significantly improved in one day, but then they also did it day over day. And each day they would start at a higher level than the previous day, suggesting that it has that latency to hold over the course of a week. And with total antioxidant activity, I want to point out that that's not something anybody could notice. And there's so many things going on in the body that are super important and you're not going to notice. And so that's part of our challenge in the biohacking world, is everybody wants to notice it and measure it. But one of the most important functions in your body is your antioxidant defense, and it's not noticeable. But those improvements, that was 13 to 17%, 13 initially up to 17% improvement. And for those who don't know, the total antioxidant activity, they use a standardized test for that, and it includes things like glutathione and so on. They're measuring as an indicator of antioxidant activity.
Yeah. Okay, so people like Jim Quick, that are interested in brain optimizations myself. I'm interested in brain optimization, health span, lowered inflammation, lowered oxidative stress. Like that's what kind of drew me to your work in this machine and device. Like what are some practical things that people notice? We talked about like the data points, the biomarkers that we can quantify changes. But what if somebody's not measuring labs, what are they noticing in their life?
Two things there. For brain endurance, it's noticeable and measurable. So Dave Asprey's 40 Years of Zen, I think they have several NanoVis there. Mm-hmm. And they always use it during the CAP training, which really stresses your brain. It's hard. Nobody really likes doing that one. And they get much better results if they're doing NanoVi at the same time. So that's the way they use it there.
Got it.
And that was also noticed by the people at Biocybernaut, that they had better endurance when they used the NanoVi.
Amazing.
But the other thing that most people will notice is it improves the autonomic nervous system. And by and large, a lot of us are in sort of a stress mode.
Really?
And so
is that? I don't believe it.
this one was stunning. The 45% improvement in the stress index with the NanoVi device. We haven't released those results yet, but the study was just finished, and it was significant at the 0.0001 level. So highly significant. Mm-hmm. And the same thing, the parasympathetic improvement. Now that's a much lower number. But what people notice there is a sense of calm, a sense of clarity, which could also be the mitochondrial function and oxidative damage, just feeling clearer in their head. Mm-hmm. But the reduction in stress is pretty noticeable, and we have done continuous monitoring. So they're wearing a chest strap, and we're watching it over time. And it's about minute 7 or 8 that the stress index will plummet. And then the parasympathetic builds at about minute 13, 14, usually. Almost everybody's a lot of consistency. Mm-hmm. And what we find is if people do the NanoVi session before they go to bed, they sleep way better because they've taken themselves out of the stress mode to kind of get ready for bed.
Yeah. Something that I've noticed with telehealth patients that use it consistently and myself is exactly what you said, the REM and the deep sleep scores improved with the use of NanoVi.
Yes.
And that makes sense with it modulating the autonomic nervous system, supporting that, decreasing that sympathetic tone.
Right.
And supporting that resting, digesting bit.
And we love to see that. And people love to see it, but it's not a study.
Yeah, right. It's anecdotal at this point.
And so it's possible with your Oura Ring that you get a different result. And there could be 100 other things that come into play.
Yep.
But most people like you, for example, are going to be pretty aware of that and what those differences are, especially over time. If you've got
over
a
time,
history.
consistent changes, and not bringing like as much as I can be my own N of 1 experiment and mitigate variables as much as possible, and consistency. Right, it's not just a fluke one time; it's something you can see improve over time. Do you do like what's your session look like? I've got like someone that is like behind the company. How do you use it?
Excessively. I use it usually when I meditate in the morning.
Okay.
Unless I've loaned the device out, which I tend to be always trying to
like a missionary
help people.
For folded proteins.
Yeah. But I use it while I meditate, and so that's at least 20 minutes. And then I will use it while I'm working during the day. So you work here, but anybody, especially executives that are looking for that brain function, you just sit it down beside you and you don't even notice it's on.
See, I always wear the cannula.
I do too.
Yeah, I like that. But is there a difference between the cannula and just breathing it through the tube?
Generally, the cannula will be better because if you breathe from the tube, you need to be within about an inch.
That's what I thought.
And most people don't sit still.
Yeah, I'm not sitting still like that.
If they're having a massage or something and they're flat on their back, it works great.
Yeah.
So it's got lots of uses. It's just that when you're trying to work and you turn your head, look at your phone and so on, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Okay, so I love the idea of doing it with meditation in the morning.
Yeah.
Why do you like to do it together with the meditation? Is it just a habit stack or is it another reason?
It's probably mostly a habit stack. Like it's like, I may as well start my day that way. And if I'm out and off or whatever, I've at least got a session in, if I'm not at my desk. And
Yeah.
one danger is to have it sitting right beside you at the desk and forget to put it on.
Right.
Right. I guess that means you should be using it more.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of a way to start the day and kind of, do that. I do a bunch of things as sort of a morning routine.
What's your morning routine look like?
Well,
so NanoVi meditation.
Yeah, and
you have a specific type of meditation first?
I do both. Vipassana is my old style one, but then I also do Joe Dispenza, but I listen to him. So that's it's different, but
Yeah.
it's a form of meditation for sure.
What Joe Dispenza meditation is it?
A lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money, but it's so worth it. And there's one I love that I do often because I think it's called Love Your Body, but you can do it lying down. I like to lie down.
Yeah, yeah, lying down like at the end of yoga class. What do they call that? Yes. Why can't I think of it? I'm sorry, all the yoga teachers out there.
Oh man, you're gonna
Shavasana.
Yeah,
that's like a lying down sort of meditation.
Yeah.
I redeemed myself. So, okay, you have a lying down Joe Dispenza meditation. You mentioned Vipassana as well for people that don't know.
That. Oh, yeah, for the morning routine. It's just a type of meditation, but there's all kinds of them. Mm-hmm. And I think any of them are good. And then in the morning, that routine is, first of all, I drink water. I go out and stand in the grass, and this is in Seattle, and if there's snow on the ground, I go stand in the snow. I stand in the rain. No matter what it is, I go out and stand in the grass. Mm-hmm. And good. Then
How long are you standing?
I do a quick kind of energy clearing thing, and it depends. I might be out there for 10 minutes if it's nice, and if it's really freezing, I don't last that long. I'm like clearing that energy as fast as I can.
Come on, get out energy.
and then the other thing I do is, this is a nod to Jim Quick, is he says do something hard, right? You should do things that are hard. And now there's so much research. He's been saying that for years. Now there's all this research showing that it's way better for you if you don't really want to do it, basically. Mm-hmm. And so that one is, I take a cold shower. I take a hot shower. I work out usually either some cardio or some weights. Mm-hmm. And then I always take that cold shower after a hot shower. And
so you do a hot shower and then you finish on cold.
Yeah.
Which sounds miserable, but that's the point, kind of, right?
Yeah, and it's funny how much you grow to like it. Yeah. I mean, I don't like to do it, but I like the feeling afterwards.
I agree. I do it as well.
And Pittsburgh, I mean, it's cold here. Yeah, it's cold in Seattle. Yeah. You don't need a cold plunge.
No, yeah. You're right. But a huge chunk of the year, we have nature as the cold plunge.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have a lake, we're right above a lake, and we have the ocean. And even in the summer, the ocean's pretty cold if you go out there.
Oh, yeah, Pacific is...
But I could see going to the cryo center in the summer, but
yes.
In the winter, it's
that's
like,
when I have my cold plunges, the summer months, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anything else in the morning routine? Like, what's the inner details of it?
Oh, man, I think that's... I always use red light. I do that, but I'll do that while I'm meditating.
Wow, you are habit stacking.
I am.
NanoVi, red light, meditation.
Yeah, those
combo.
Are those all together.
Which they're all supporting a lot of the same things, right? I mean, they're kind of multi-pronged approach to that parasympathetic, increased mitochondrial function.
Yeah, and there's sometimes when I'm doing the red light, instead of it's kind of a meditation as well, as I'll do alpha. To just get my brain going in the morning.
Alpha
wavelength, binaural beats, and so on.
Oh, got it. I thought you were saying the neurotropic, the alpha GPC. That will be supportive too. No, okay. So binaural beats are a great tool for people that don't know what that is. Can you?
Well, it's brain training, and it's more than binaural beats too. It's other kind of tones and sounds that initiate alpha brain waves. Mm-hmm. And that's a great way to start the day. It's kind of more alert and creative, but calm. Mm-hmm. And then in the evening, typically delta Wavelength, the same type of thing.
So is this a device that, like a frequency sound medicine device?
Yeah, there's lots of programs. I think you could just find them on the internet, but I use both Mind Valley, Vishen Lakhiani's stuff, or Brain Tap, and they both have great.
I love Brain Tap.
Yeah, they both have great stuff on it.
Yeah, Mind Valley and Brain Tap, two great. Yeah, Brain Tap's. Have you tried the Brain Tap before? It's a really cool device, like the actual
Brain Tap. Oh yeah, we're like buddies, but there's so much combined use of Brain Tap and NanoVi that Patrick and I go back a long ways.
Yeah, so Brain Tap kind of combines binaural beats with some light therapy, right? Like how,
it does.
Yeah.
It's got lights on the ears, and there's a visor with blue lights as well. So it's doing a few different things.
That's what I need to do. I need to do NanoVi with Brain Tap.
Yeah.
That's a great combination.
It's a great combination.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a biohacker's paradise. I saw you last in person at the biohacking conference. Are you going this year?
Yes.
I don't think I'll make it this year, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'll miss you guys. But I have to speak, I think, at the same weekend somewhere else. But the it is such a cool event, isn't it?
It's a really fun event, and it's a great event for us because people really appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah, it's your people.
And there's some conferences we can go to, and if they're too sort of allopathic, there's an attitude to it that, well, I don't know about this, it can't be real kind of thing, or they're only looking at biochemistry, and we're 100% biophysics. We're not, and there's a constant question, but what's the substance? And it's like nothing, it's water. It's biophysics.
Yeah, it's you would say resonance and frequency more than
correct. Coherence in those water molecules. Yes.
Yeah. Got it. For people that don't know, like coherence, like could you define that? Because I think that's fascinating.
For us, we call it ordered water because it's easier to understand. But the water molecules are packed together very closely, and they could be just kind of all over random. But when they get packed together, it's ordered, or there's a high coherence in that, and that's the state that's needed in the body to support the proteins. And
yeah,
the way that works is the amino acids are kind of this chain of amino acids, so they're not that structured. So you need the water with this order, and that transfers over to the amino acids, so they have all their bonding to create the 3D shape, and the water loses that ordered state. So it's constantly being recharged, and the body does that normally, and we're just boosting it.
Yeah. It seems like you're using technology, right? But there seems to be a beautiful overlap between frequency medicine and sound medicine and what you're doing in the sort of resonance that they talk about.
It's all resonance. It's all vibration. And that's the nano, very small, and V vibration.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's all, at some level, it's all energy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could see an allopathic medical conference, them not necessarily having the ears to hear per se sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it changing? Do you feel like the conventional allopathic world is kind of evolving a bit towards understanding these things that are maybe a little bit not there, but they're trained, but there's exciting science behind it?
Yeah, and I want to give them a lot of credit because there's a lot more open-mindedness, and I know this because at least at one medical school, because my son finished a year ago, and I was impressed with what he learned there. And the things that the standard opinion is that, well, doctors don't learn any of that, and they don't learn any of this, and so on. And true enough, they do learn a lot about pharmaceuticals. However, I was impressed that he did learn some of these cellular functions that are so critical. So that felt hopeful.
Yeah. And all you have to do is go to the Institute for Functional Medicine. Like most of the doctors that are trained the way that I'm trained are allopathic doctors that have interest in this. So even if they weren't trained so much on wellness and advancements, I am hopeful because you look at the amount of conventional allopathic doctors that want to learn because they got into this space because they want to help people, most of them.
And so many of them have this amazing advanced training.
Yes.
Like some of these guys have just spent so much of their lives learning, first of all the medical school stuff, and then also taking on all these other approaches, and they're just fabulous doctors.
Yeah, well-rounded.
Yeah.
Well-rounded, yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's going back to the biohacking conference. Like, what are some of your favorite things that you look forward to seeing there every year when you're at the biohacking conference?
It's the people. It's all the people.
Any stories that come to mind of people you've met or stories you've heard?
I think that it's just, I can't think of anything specifically, but it's the chance to reconnect. Like, I had somebody say, well, it must have been a good conference for you. It can't hurt that Jim Quick was hanging out at your booth, stuff like that. And it's like, oh, man, I love Jim Quick. I think he's one of the finest people.
Mm-hmm.
I just, and so it's like, well, this is such a treat to spend time with people
like
that.
You get all these people in the same room.
Yeah.
It's like a special thing that doesn't really happen any other time like that. Right? It's a really unique thing that Dave has brought together. Any other booths that you like going by and checking out? Oh, what's your favorite booth?
I go if I can go early before people are there, so I can sneak away. Then I'm just like grabbing whatever I can get. But I love to do a bit of PEMF.
Okay.
And there's some shift wave is one that's kind of recentering, rebalancing that I think is really great, especially at that conference, because it really helps recenter you. I like the red lights, depending. Red light is not all created equal.
Okay. What have you found? What's the tea behind red lights? I mean, I know this, but I want you to share with everybody.
The sunlight has a lot of therapeutic wavelengths.
Yeah.
And many of them are not in the red light spectrum. Mm-hmm. And only certain ones in the red light spectrum are therapeutic. So if you see a really, really inexpensive device and it looks just like one that's expensive, or if somebody, which I've seen charging a really expensive price for something like, $4,000 or $5,000 for something that's $200 on Alibaba, yeah. It's like, that's pretty painful. And so you have to really watch those things, and you have to look at what the wavelengths are. And I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But like, I think 640 is one that's pretty standard, and there's evidence of that one being effective and so on.
Yeah. Any pro tips for somebody? Because I get asked this question a lot. They'll send me some cheap product out there, and may be good, but I haven't tried every product on the market, and not just for red light, or any wellness device, biohacker device, anything that you think, the advice you have for people to vet what they're using as far as wellness devices.
Well, there's a measurement tool, but I think it's like $3,000 or $4,000 where you can measure the red light
for red light specifically,
or the different lights actually. And the one I like has both some natural sunlight spectrums, which we need at this northern latitude because we aren't getting those rays are not making it to us when we're this far north. And so you could just do like 2 minutes with that on the sunlight setting, and then you do 10 minutes on red light or something.
What red light panel do you like?
That's Mitolux.
Okay.
And I like them very much. And
I'd love to talk about NanoVi for some of the type of cases that we see with telehealth patients is mold toxicity. Let's start there. Like, how could it be beneficial for someone with high mold toxins?
So any detox process is, first of all, really stressful on the body. Mm-hmm. And so it needs that cell energy production. Yeah. And also any of those metabolic pathways that you're working with, and actually any biochemical process at all, requires protein functions to execute it. Mm-hmm. So whatever you do is proteins are integral, and then you want them to work as well as they can. Mm-hmm. So with mold, the biggest things are the elimination. Like, you can stir it up, but you really need to get it out of there. Mm-hmm. And and just supporting the overall system, because it's really doing some work. Mm-hmm. And we have had a lot of use with it in the olden days, we had a lot of lime, huge amount of lime.
It's biotoxin. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
mold. It's a biotoxin.
And I think a lot of it you could probably was mold, you know.
Right,
That
mold
at that in those
reactivating the
days,
Borrelia.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just kind of got labeled.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's effective, but that's a process. They need someone like you to get through that. And it's like the most important thing, it seems, to clean up the cells so that it can function properly.
Without a doubt. I mean, any biotoxin, mold, bacteria, viruses, whether, no matter what the primary one is, increasing mitochondrial function is essential, and this is a wonderful tool. That was actually, I connected you with, and this is I'm not breaking any HIPAA confidentiality because you shared this on social media. Her use of this is, I connected you with Gwyneth Paltrow and her using NanoVi because we were dealing with long COVID and mold issues, and she shared her using. What kind of feedback did you get when Gwyneth Paltrow used NanoVi on social?
Well, I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was just so excited myself. I didn't care about the feedback. No, there was great feedback. It was really great, and she had a really positive thing. It was kind of cute. She said that she didn't know how it worked, but she loved it.
Yeah. Not too long ago, she sent me a video of her using it still, so she's consistent
I love
with it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that you don't know how many things work. You know, a nice car or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it works and you love it,
You notice the difference in your body. Yeah.
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 We don't have time in our lives to understand, the minutia of how everything works. So
Right. The mechanism of action on every little thing. Okay. So, do you have anything coming up? Like anything new in the pipelines for you? Like what's coming up for NanoVi?
The next thing will be completing the study that I mentioned. So that's just launched, but there's multifaceted study, and that's a month long. And then what I'd really love to do is there's some really amazing testing, all systems testing. I'd like to do. They really need 2 months to see a difference, but it'd be nice to do a study with them over 2 months. So that's something I've kind of looked at, but we can only carve off so much at a time. So I'm excited about that. And then I don't think there's other things. There's not other things that are really product related. But there's lots of kind of exciting events. I was invited to a group out of Greece that I think it's the biggest wellness retreat in Europe. It's beautiful.
Wait, where is this? When is this in
It's
Greece?
on the Peloponnese Peninsula, and it's
Is it in July?
yes, first.
They just asked me to speak at it. Are you going?
Oh my gosh, we could carpool.
We got carpool. This is crazy. I just got an email yesterday about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to look this up. So do you fly into Athens? That's what they told me, I think.
Yes. Yes. Is it Euphoria, I think?
Yes. That is so crazy.
You gotta go.
It's not confirmed yet. I haven't confirmed. Andrea on my team has to work out the logistics. But and my son's home from, I'll be honest, this is a dad moment. I love speaking. It's one of my favorite parts of my job. Telehealth patients come first, but speaking I love it, especially getting to hang out with people and being, outside of my telehealth room, holed up in here. But my son's home from college, and summer goes so quick, and I want to soak in all the time with him. So I'm going to make him come with me if I go.
You have a son in college? You should definitely take him.
Yes. Yeah, Solomon, he's been on the podcast before. He's 18. Wow. I know. I had kids very young. I was a child groom.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, he should go.
Yeah, he loves Greece. We've been to Athens before, him and I actually took my team. He loves Greek mythology. And so if it works out, I hope it does, because I love speaking.
Well, I'm excited about that one because, for one thing, they're inviting a lot of press.
Oh, cool. See, I didn't know. I need you.
I can tell you all about it.
I just got an email. I'm like, it sounds fun. It's I know no details.
They really want to kind of dig into these, not that many products, but having products there and having, it's like a festival, a longer term thing. And having
it's like the 3rd to the 13th. It's like a long time.
And it's the
3rd to the 13th.
They have press from the U.S., Germany, France, and the U.K. and Greece. And so that is a wonderful thing. But even more wonderful for us is the metabolic testing that they basically called us up and said, oh my gosh, we never see something change in one session.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are Greek, and I love those guys. And so they'll be there, and they're using that metabolic testing device as a confirmation of NanoVi.
Amazing. So
Yeah. So Panoe will have a big team there. They just have to come down from Athens.
Yeah. Connect
And
all the
so-
metabolic nerds.
Yeah.
Unite.
Oh, you'd love it. You gotta go.
Yeah, I know. It's a sign. Andrea just emailed them today. So I was like, well, let's see. But yeah, that's so cool.
I'm going to
Synchronistic.
applaud them on their taste.
Thank you. Likewise. That's just fun. That's just super cool. All right, before we go, the podcast is called The Art of Being Well. At the end, we have your Art of Being Well. What is the worst tasting healthy food that you eat? It's done for health science benefits, not for the taste.
Oh, mine is, it could be just plain collagen. It's not the yummiest.
Yeah. I've never had anyone say that before, but that's okay.
Let's see. I don't think there's. I eat like I don't care what it tastes like.
You're like that level.
If it's
of
the
wellness.
if it's the right stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I will get some nasty things and be I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's like, I'll just get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. What's wrong with us is the question. What is wrong with?
Well, yeah. I've never been picky. I guess as far
See,
as
I'm
food
picky.
goes.
I'm picky if it's done for taste. But I can. That just shows
Oh,
you
I see.
mind
Yeah.
over matter. If it's like, no, I'm not doing it for taste. I can shut that part of my
Yeah.
sort of body and appreciate why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not like torture. I just
Yeah.
know why I'm doing it.
And I also, part of my morning routine is I take a little shot of apple cider vinegar in the water. Like I mix it with water and then
Yeah.
drink it fast.
Are we talking like with the mother, the Braggs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the mother.
yeah.
You know the mother? We know the mother.
But that's kind of not great tasting, but it's
Yeah, no,
fine.
yeah. People do say HCV for sure. Every time, as we're going through this conversation, there's more and more tidbits from this morning routine of yours that's coming out.
I don't start work till noon. No, mine's pretty condensed, which is why I'm pairing these things because I've got to get rolling.
So
know?
you were joking there. You definitely, you are working in the morning, or you
Oh
really?
yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, some people manage that, but
Well,
they're way smarter
people
than
will
I am.
clip this on social media and be like, these people wellness are so unattainable and so not normal. But you were joking. You're working. Yeah.
Completely. I'm absolutely.
Sense of humor is an acquired taste on social media. If you didn't realize that, there's a lack of it in certain pockets.
Yeah. No, I could start as early as 7 or 8, but usually I try to start a little later than that. But then I'm going till 5 or 6. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, that's why you habit stacking,
Yeah.
right? You're because you are busy. You are working all day long.
And I get up pretty early, which is that works out well for me. I go to bed early and I get up early.
What time do you go to bed?
Usually before 10,
Okay.
and then I easily can wake up at 5:30.
Do you wake up without an alarm or with an alarm?
Always without an alarm. It seems.
That's great.
Like if I have an early flight, I just don't sleep well.
Yeah.
So it's easy to wake up.
Yeah. Hey, for sure. Okay. So next question is, do you take supplements? I'm assuming you do. And if so, what are 2 supplements that are maybe out of the box, lesser known, that people would be surprised about or should know about?
Silica maybe, but everybody probably knows about that.
No, but we haven't talked about it in the podcast. So talk about it.
But that's a hydration issue. I have to augment because of hydration. And silica is something if you don't need it, you shouldn't take it because it can actually have not be good. But that's one I have a benefit from, and I take a lot, usually every day. Let's see if there's anything totally out of the box. I think they're all pretty standard, like nothing
too
very
weird.
Creative.
Yeah.
I know I'm a bit of a bore.
No, actually, I like that because you are such, I would say, I'm more of an elite biohacker. You're in the elite biohacker space. To say that the basic stuff are the most important is really I think will speak to the people out there.
Yeah. And I like to have that verification of it. So it's like a new nootropic. Oh, yeah, we love this thing. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
And I love that. Have you tried spermidine?
No.
I've experimented with that. I've noticed a difference, and it's like at a newer-ish
Yes.
class of,
Tell me how to use it. I have some at home, and I've just never used it.
I love that you have spermidine at home. I haven't used it. I just take capsules. I take 3 capsules of it. So it depends on the brand and the dosage, but
It doesn't matter when, though.
no.
Okay.
I take it with food in the morning. But I honestly forget sometimes, so I'm kind of, whenever I'm in between patients, I'll just take it whenever.
Yeah.
Be consistent with it
Yeah,
more than
I've
anything
heard
else.
good things.
Yeah, to increase autophagy and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. I do intermittent fasting.
Okay.
But I don't do, because of my age, I don't do the really long ones.
Yeah.
So I usually eat by about 11 and then, or 12, and then I stop eating usually by, 6:37.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever measured your biological age? Have you looked at that?
No, I'm scared to.
I'm sure you're doing just fine, Rowena. I'm sure you're a
What if
cool
I score
27.
like ancient?
That's impossible. Don't even say that. We talked about Greece. What's somewhere you haven't traveled to, but it's on your bucket list?
Oh, I've always wanted to go to the country, Georgia.
Okay.
And we have a
The
medical
former
spa
Soviet
there
Union.
that's been a big fan of ours, and I started looking at them, and it's in the mountains, and the food's amazing, and I'm like, and then there's big mountains like climbing and trekking kind of stuff. And there's an ocean, and I'm like, this sounds really good. And there's hot springs at the edge of the mountains.
Yeah, and NanoVi's in Georgia.
Yeah, and I could go there.
Yeah, you should go.
Go hang out at that center.
Go hang out.
A business trip.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, there are NanoVi's around the world, aren't there?
Yeah, there are. They're all over, but not in great numbers.
Yes, right. They're in the pockets of these, I would say, more advanced people that are in the know of just the biophysics of longevity.
Yeah. So you'll see a bunch, say, in Dubai.
Yeah.
And there's more in Dubai than there are in Pittsburgh.
Yes. Dubai knows way more than Western Pennsylvania. I know that.
And then they're in these elite spas, and they're in quite a few of these beautiful high-end spas.
Yeah.
In the Dolomites, in Switzerland and Italy.
Yeah. So it's like, again, I want people like the average American, as I am, like the listener, like these, I would say, elite biohacker, lots of money. They have NanoVis for a reason, because they see the change. I think that's something.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect, because like the elites know about this stuff, but the trickle, like it doesn't. There's a disconnect sometimes for the layperson to understand how they don't have to be elite to get in on this amazing technology. It's for everybody. Yeah,
it can be a really good idea, especially if people use it like you do, where lots of people in the family use it, or the neighbors come over and use it. Then it's actually a pretty inexpensive intervention.
Yeah. Oh yeah, come over, hang out,
and
it up.
So no, it's amazing, but we get a lot of executives, and it's a lot of it's sort of that brain function. I'm kind of losing my edge. I'm feeling a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And we sell it in the shopping cart to those people. I mean, it's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah. So you're mentioning going back to Dubai, because like that's on my bucket list to go to Dubai, and I have lots of friends there, and they tell me all the wellness like explosion that's happening in the UAE, as a whole. Have you been there before?
Yes. I don't want to say many times, but several times.
Yeah, because there's lots of NanoVis. There's like a NanoVi in every corner in Dubai. Okay, so we answer the question. Where do you want to go?
I said Georgia.
Oh, that's right, Georgia.
That's the one on the top of my list.
I need to go with my NanoVi. I'm struggling right today. Yes, I would love to go. I'd love to go to Croatia too.
Yeah.
That's sort of part of the world. Okay. Next question is, where's somewhere that you have been to that's underrated maybe and should be on other people's bucket lists?
I just got back from El Salvador.
Oh.
And I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's not overrun at all. I mean, I was so impressed.
There's a lot of new development. Is that what you mean?
Not so much, but I like that authenticity.
Yeah.
And it's just not like a cruise ship dumped, 2,000 people in there or something. And, sometimes you get that feeling in Rome, for example, and it's like, oh my gosh, you can't even see the stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, it's horrible.
And so that's an area that I thought was really kind of a little quieter and really accessible to see beautiful things and just kind of slide in there with the surfers, basically.
Yeah, very cool. What brought you there to El Salvador?
To visit friends that actually have the company Mitolux.
Oh, okay.
And this is how I know them. It's the Canadian in me. I met them at this reception, and they said they have this red light company, and he's from El Salvador. And I'm like, what? A tech company from El Salvador? And then it's like, I'll help you.
That's awesome.
And so I just started doing what I could to introduce them and so on. Well, it turns out the technology is really beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't already have the technology and sort of appreciate it before I introduced them to people. But so they said, come to El Salvador. And my daughter said, well, I want to do a mother-daughter trip. And I'm like, okay, we're going to El Salvador.
That's so cool. That's special. So what part of the country did you go to?
We went up in the mountains, in the volcanoes, up there, and did some hiking and stayed up there a few days. And there's a beautiful lake up there we went to. And then close to a week, mostly at the beach and a little bit in San Salvador. But there's many more things you could do there. But it is a small country, so you don't feel like you'd have to go back 100 times, you know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then we did one day in the western part where our friends arranged a car to take us to these one after the other of these towns that each is famous, one for woodworking, one for coffee, one for art, and you just go into each town.
That's special.
And that was beautiful.
Sounds a blast. Next question is, what's the weirdest or maybe most out-of-the-box thing you've done for your wellness that you're willing to admit on a podcast?
Oh, weird. I'm not that weird.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned.
I don't, let's see. Oh, I wish I could come up with something. You should have primed me with this question.
No,
it's probably something very weird I've done. But I don't take a lot of substances, weird-wise.
Okay.
And jumping in Lake Washington in the winter was, I thought it was a really good idea. And we walked down to the lake, which was good. But walking home, I almost froze.
Yeah.
I got in a sauna.
Yeah, right, for sure. So some cold plunging.
Yeah, but that was, you don't want to walk for 10 minutes after you cold plunge in the lake.
No.
Seattle.
I'd like to avoid that, thank you. What is a book that you've read? It could be fiction or nonfiction. I'm getting this running Art of Being Well book club. What should I add to the list?
Oh, can I add to it later? Because I never pay attention to the titles of the books.
It's okay.
One would be, let's see, it was in nonfiction, India, The Covenant of Water.
Okay.
Beautiful book for nonfiction. I love for fiction, for nonfiction, Ben McIntyre. Everything he's written, I love it. He's like MI5 and MI6, and it's all this spy stuff that reads like a novel, but it's truth, it's history.
Wow.
It's fascinating. And he's got like 4 books, I think. They're all great.
That's so cool. Great tips. I love that.
Those are ones. And then on health and wellness, I don't know.
Name one that you like.
Well, right now I'm reading Superhuman, Joe Dispenza's book.
Okay.
I love Jim Quick's book, of course. Because I appreciated the simplicity and accessibility of that book. I thought it was almost unparalleled in that sort of the givingness of making it so easy for people to work accessible from just a book.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it.
I love it.
That's good for now.
Yeah, this is definitely good for now. Rowena, where do people go to learn more about your work? How do they, if they want an NanoVi, what do they do? Or maybe is there a directory to go to a wellness center where there is one? Yeah,
we are just releasing that. The best thing to do is contact the company because it's an update, basically. And then we have a page for you, which is eng3, eng3.com/Will Cole.
Okay.
And eng3.com is our site. But on your page, we've kind of customized it so that it probably fits a little better for your audience. And because it's your page, we published a summary of the study results that we cannot, it's unsearchable, but we cannot publish those on our regular website.
Okay.
So going to /Will Cole is a great idea. And there's also a 3D video there that explains how the device works, or I should say shows how the device works.
The science of it. So we have some exclusive science there. I didn't know you did that, so thank you. So eng3.com, eng3, the number 3, right? .com/Will Cole.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So guys, read the studies, watch the video.
Yeah. You can see everything there. And having those, this is just a quick summary of studies, but I highly recommend people sign into that form because we don't spam them. And that way we actually send the studies out if they sign in, whereas otherwise they can just see the data points on the page.
Amazing. Well, we have a bunch of health science nerds on that listen to the podcast, so they will thank you.
Okay.
For that. Thanks. Rowena, come back anytime. Thanks for
I love it. I might just.
And let's have summer in Greece.
Yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you again.